Once again, this is Rosey. I'm back on my road to perception. Okay, I am walking as hard as I can. I try to live a good life, even though there's a difficulty that I share with many. But we also are sharing one with everybody in the nation right now, and that's this Delta variant. I'm not going to prolong the talk about it this time. I'm going to jump to some other things that I really want to talk about, and that's blindness, medical doctors that you can visit to help you with your blindness, and certain technology that will help you get through your life. I have technology that helps me. I am a veteran during the Vietnam era, and I go to the Blind Rehab Center in Biloxi, Mississippi to help me with my mobility and receiving technology training to help me to continue with my life. I even type, I email on my computer. I'm writing my life story on my computer. This is what this technology aids you to do. I have a JAWS program. It's not for everyone, but it is for me. I also can listen and record CDs on my computer. There's a way of doing that. Excuse me for scratching my nose, it'll itch that time. Anyway, I just want to put some of those things out there because we as blind people need as much technology as we can possibly get to help us through our daily lives. This variant has me really concerned. It reaches out to everyone, even children now. Babies that's under a year old. I understood that was a child 5 months old in the hospital that had the Delta variant. I don't know what become of that child, but I do know that child was in the hospital at one time. It was back in Florida. None of these things sound good when you come to think about it. That was also a sad thing in my life, in my family's life. About a few weeks ago, we lost a very good person in our family that we took as our friend, my sister, and it's still sad to think about that from time to time. It wasn't due to the COVID, wasn't due to the Delta. She did pass away, and that took a lot from my family. Okay, ID Mate. That is another piece of technology that I have, and it's better than some because it also gives me the milligrams, the grams, the portions of salt, portions of sugar, and substances and packages. It reads the whole thing. It reads the barcode, and it tells you how to prepare it, how many portions it is. It tells you so much about it. This thing even records music. While you're in there cooking, it has a playback to where you can listen to your favorite music. So there's so many different menus on there that you can go to. But what I love about it, it aids me in cooking. It aids me in finding certain products as beef stock, chicken stock, tomatoes, whether it's diced tomatoes or stewed tomatoes, items like that. I don't use too many canned products, but that particular product I do use in cans. Most of the time I try to use fresh items, so I try to use beef, not canned beef. I don't like to use a lot of that. My chicken soup, I make that from scratch. I do not like going to Campbell's chicken noodle soup anymore. That is an easier way of doing things. I find it to be more healthy when I make it from scratch myself. You said, how do I do that? Oh, very meticulously, because you got to be careful when you're cutting items up. I have a cutting board that I can use to cut it up. The VA, a Blind Rehab Center, so that it was necessary for me to have one since I like to cook, and it's very safety conscious, and you have to use your common sense on how to use this item. But you can chop up anything you want, anything from chicken to beef, onions, carrots, anything you want. It's not hard to do. It's easy cleanup. It keeps you safe in that way as well. That's why everything that I can get to help me through my daily life, I use it. Like I was stating, my telephone, for instance. Before I even received an iPhone, I have never seen one before in my life. I had a flip phone at one time, and it was very complicated to use because the buttons was too small. I couldn't find one with the buttons large enough, and then if I did, I couldn't find the 5 key on there because it wasn't identified in a manner the way I could feel it with my fingers. Like I say, I have to use my hands and my touch and my feel to do a lot of things. When I get exhausted with something, I don't want to do it anymore. And it was exhausting with that cell phone. I am not a quitter. And it's hard to just constantly do something, and do something. So then you try to come up with something else to do to get through your life, and I did. But then I was introduced to the iPhone 7 Plus. Man, that thing is so wonderful. I don't want to go back to another phone. I don't need anything else. They keep coming out with different phones. The iPhone 7 to me is about the best phone. I have Siri on that thing. I have voiceover, and that talks to me and help me to go where I want to go. I can manipulate my phone pretty much. There's a lot of things on there that I can't do, and I'm still learning. So it just takes a lot of time to do this. But if you are blind, totally blind, or you are vision impaired, you don't have that much sight, you can't see, it takes a hard time for you to try to see something, you might consider getting an iPhone that you can use, okay? iPhone is not good for everyone. Some people have Parkinson's and you shake a lot. And when that happens, the home button is a good thing for you. But they have certain iPhones now that don't have home buttons, and it's not good for you. And that'll frustrate you, and then you don't want to do anything with your life. But you don't want to stop your life, you want to continue. So, as I said, you might want to put yourself on pause or something like that. And here we go again. This variant has put me on pause once again because the VA opened up to us, and because of this Delta variant that is running ragged over this state, our blind rehab center is closing down again. They were very safety conscious when they opened them back up. They were requiring the COVID test before you got there, COVID test once you got there, and you are locked down in the building for how many ever weeks that you need for training. Once you leave that building, you're going home. If you leave that building before your time is up, you can't come back in because it's difficulty, and they trying to keep everyone safe. And some veterans didn't understand that. They thought it was a problem, but it's not a problem when you want to just learn. It's okay. You stay confined in your home anyway. But the fact is now the VA is closing down. And I was offered the chance to come back a few times here recently. And each time I closed because of this Delta variant. And I just was like kind of cautious about going, and I know how safe they are, but I know people, it's not going to change. We all going to keep what we're doing. Some of us change, some of us get a little bit better in what we're doing, some of us just keep the same thing going, and I don't see how we do that. Anyway, I'm not at the Blind Rehab Center now, and it don't matter because it's closing down this month. So here we are once again. We're waiting until it reopens again to where we can go back and get more training to try to make it through these other 10, 15, 20 years, whatever we got left. And you find a lot of older guys like myself going down there trying to get learning and training and stuff and trying to move about. And there's some people that have never had a cane in their hand. They don't know how to get out a door. They don't know what to listen for. And this is what these instructors teach us down there. They teach great mobility skills. And that's what we need as blind people. Okay, this is another one I've done. If you like what I've said, like I said, do a thumbs up. This is my road, and I'm going to continue on it. And as I would say, if you keep your heart and your mind right, not only will I get there, but you'll get there. And keep a positive attitude in whatever you do. Alright, this is Rosey, and that's Rosey's Road to Perception with apostrophe S with the R-O-S-E-Y. I'm out of here. See you later.